Oh my god, my mic's been off the whole time. Are you kidding me? Seriously, the whole time? The whole time. Hey, what's up everyone, Danny here. In this video, I'm going to go over my own personal rig. This has been highly requested for a while, and the last time I made a video on my personal PC was about a year and a half ago, but a lot has changed since then, so I wanted to do an update video. My current build is not the best out there, nor is it even close to being the most expensive, especially compared to some of these other big channels, but it suits my needs for gaming and creating content on YouTube. The main theme of Nerd on a Budget is to encourage people to save money by hunting for the best deals out there, and using whatever resources available to them, and I try to show that I practice what I preach through my videos. But now you're going to see that taken to a whole nother level, because when it comes to my own personal PC, I do hunch to the extreme. Do note that my build is not going to be replicable for the price that I paid, nor is it meant to be, because it'll include using resources that's not available to everyone, as well as literally once in a lifetime deals. This video is to showcase my system and hopefully motivate you to deal hunt the best that you can. But without further ado, let's check out my build. Let's start on the outside and work our way in. This is the Anides AI Crystal Cube tempered glass case. This was a review unit sent to me from Anides, and I made a video on it earlier this year. I'll have that linked in the title card and description for those interested. Longtime followers of the channel know that I absolutely love cube cases, so add on some sleek tempered glass and my interest was definitely piqued. My opinions on this case turned out to be a bit mixed, and by the end of my review I did not recommend it simply because of the high asking price. It's not that it's a bad case, I just want to see some of the flaws addressed or the price lowered accordingly to make up for it. This is the only component of my system that I did not pay for due to being a review sample. Everything else from here on forward was paid for, and I'll address this when I tally up the cost. The CPU I'm using is the Intel i7-6700K. I got it in the summer of 2016, which is about a year after its release and before Kaby Lake was officially announced. At the time, it was going for around $350 or so from any of the online retailers, but I know someone that works at Intel that was able to get it for me using the employee purchase program at 50% off, so it cost me $189.26 after tax and free shipping. The 6700K is paired with an entry-level Asus Z170K motherboard from an eBay shop called Ant Online. It cost me $41.99 after an instant $15 off coupon and $25 mail-in rebate. Cooling the processor is a Corsair H100i dual radiator all-in-one liquid cooler. This was bought at Best Buy of all places. Best Buy doesn't have the best reputation among PC builders due to their high prices, but the good thing about them is that they price match. I price matched the H100i from a sale that Fry's was having for $49, and the final cost came out to $49.38 after tax and free shipping. It's been serving my system fine with no issues of pump failure or leaking yet. This may be my last all-in-one cooler though. Once this one dies, I'll likely go back to conventional air coolers due to both lower price and less points of failure. The H100i was a really great deal at $49, but even then, it's still more expensive than something like the CryoRig H7, which would suit my needs plenty. The graphics card I'm using is the EVGA GTX 1070 for the Win Edition. This is the completely unplanned upgrade that I made to my system, which was detailed in a previous Craigslist ride-along. Links to the pickup in the title card and description, but in a nutshell, I went to buy some DDR3 RAM from a guy that was selling a bunch of parts, but most of them were priced more than I wanted to pay for it, this 1070 included. I think the ad originally asked $350 for it. When we met up, we talked for a while, and he mentioned that he just needed to get rid of all of his parts and was willing to lower the price even more, and he offered it to me for $200. For reference, at the time, the mining and GPU shortage situation was not in full effect yet, so GTX 1070s were easily found for under $350 used, but soon after, the prices shot up to around $450. I have 16GB of Kingston HyperX Fury DDR4 RAM in my system. It's 2133MHz and only cost me $58.99 from Newegg, and it came with Rainbow Six Siege, which was worth $20 at the time. What's crazy is that was pretty normal during the summer of 2016. Deals similar to this were very common, and if not, it'd be maybe $10 or so more. But by 2017 standards, that's an amazing deal because DDR4 RAM is now about double the price. Now we'll go around to the back of the case, and please excuse my poor cable management, but the reason I love cube cases, or one of the reasons, is because of their dual chamber design. So if I get the opportunity to be lazy with my cable management, I'm gonna take it. The tempered glass is tinted, and no one can see the side of the case anyway. For the power supply, I'm using an EVGA Supernova Next 750B semi-modular power supply. I've been using this power supply for a few years now. I bought it before I started this YouTube channel, and it's been serving me really well. This was a Craigslist pickup for $30. For storage, I have 3 3TB hard drives and 2 solid state drives. The 3TB drives are all bought used and are of different brands. There's a Seagate, Toshiba, and Hitachi. 2 of them were bought from Hardware Swap and 1 was bought from Newegg. They were all in the ballpark of around $50 to $60. My solid state drives, on the other hand, were all bought new and are probably the best deal hunted items in my build, and that's because they were a price error. Earlier this year, Dell listed the Western Digital Blue 250GB SSDs on their website for only $20. This hit the front page of Build a PC sales and they went almost instantly. I was able to get an order in for 5 drives and I paid for the express delivery. I did this even though it cost 3 times more because in some situations, getting the quickest and most expensive shipping expedites the order within the warehouse and gets it packed up and sent out the quickest. And in this case, I wanted to make sure the drives got out ASAP before orders started to get cancelled. I was one of the lucky ones and all my drives came in, and the math works out to $26.78 per SSD. 2 went into my personal system, 2 were given away for the channel's 25,000 subscriber milestone, and the last one is in my laptop. Last but not least, we can't forget the Windows key. Everyone always makes a huge fuss when PC builders don't include the cost of Windows in their builds, but from our end, it doesn't make sense to throw in a $100 Windows license for like a $200 system. That's 33% of the cost. If you're on that tight of a budget, you're better off finding more creative solutions to get a working OS. One really good one is by utilizing your schools or universities, which can sometimes get you a license at a huge discount or completely free. And if you don't have a resource like that, what a lot of us builders do is make use of unactivated Windows, which I've made a guide on before. All that aside though, I do have a legitimate Windows 10 professional license, and it's not from any of those questionable gray market key sellers either. Mine is directly from Microsoft themselves because I have another buddy that works for them and they have a friends and family discount program. It ended up costing me $32.85 after the discount on top of a sale they were having and tax. If we tally up all the parts I paid for, it comes in at around $830, but if we want to include the value of the case, we can add in $170, which I think is more than fair since that's the price Anides offers it populated with 5 RGB fans on Newegg. With that considered, the build barely scrapes by under $1,000. So now it's time for the benchmarks. Most of them were run in 1440p with the exact settings used being shown beforehand. For overclocking, I have the 6700K running at 4.7 GHz and the GTX 1070 overclocked 100 MHz on the core and 200 MHz on the memory. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the benchmarks. So that was my system. I actually don't own a 1440p monitor. I do all my content creation and gaming on a 2560 by 1080 ultra wide. So the pixel density is actually 25% less than what those benchmarks were showing, and I get a little bit higher performance than that, which I'm more than happy with. One thing I do want to note is that you're not going to be able to build your first PC like this. It just isn't realistic to wait that long. As you saw, some of those deals were really spread apart. Once you get your first PC up and running, you can start playing the patience game like I did when it comes to deal hunting. It's really hard to do that on your first one though, because in the beginning you just want something that's up and running and works in a reasonable amount of time. But afterwards, you can slowly wait for the deals to come along so that you can, swap them out into your build and sell off your old stuff until you get a full PC made entirely of good deals. If that's what you're going for. But that's gonna wrap up for this video though. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of the build, as well as which deal you would have liked to run into yourself of the ones that I got. But thank you as always for watching. I can't stress that enough and how much I appreciate your support. And I look forward to reading all your comments down below, as well as seeing you in the next video. Bye.